And we are live at Whatever Blows Your Hair Back Studio. I am Tyler. We're with Luke. We're going to give a little recap on what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to go back as far as 3 weeks and talk about Luke's fight, how he did, what he did prepping up to it. We're also going to talk about about the whole month, I guess, of March. You got March Madness basketball popping up. We're going to talk about who we might want to watch then. And as well as it's Women's Month. So it's the month for the women, and we're going to bring up some important women that we find very interesting. And I think that covers
St.
what we're
Patrick's
going to
Day.
talk about. I mean, we're going to actually talk about, what do we got here on my notes? Oh, we'll talk about like where the women are going, where they're working, and we got a little side sit on that. I wonder where they're all at.
Where the women at?
They're not waitresses no more. Where they at?
With my ladies.
And of course, St. Paddy's Day, Chicago. If you're just tuning in right now, I'm Tyler with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back. We got Luke with me. We got Sophia on the sticks. She's going with the camera on her today. But we'll be doing an end picture at the end. We're going to be talking about the greatness of Luke. Let's just start with you, Luke, right now. We already mentioned what we wanted to talk about, so let's talk about you.
Let's have a chat.
Luke was been training at Whatever Blows Your Hair Back Studio for about a year now. This man is one of the hardest workers that I know. He is dedicated, has not missed a day, and I just want to commend you on this podcast, and I'm proud to be one of your partners. And I appreciate you making me the man that I am as a coach. I didn't know I had it in me to do that, and for you to get me set up with the paperwork with the USA Boxing, make sure that I channeled that properly. Took 7 hours of tests. I want to thank you for that, and so I feel like it scaled me up in the sport, and as well as me backing you up. So how do you feel about that?
I feel amazing. Love training at the studio. Tyler has pushed me to do all the things that I've really wanted to do, maybe been a little bit hesitant to do, whether it's fear or anxiety. He's helped me break through a lot of that and just start living the life of my dreams, because that's what we do at Whatever Blows Your Hair Back Studio. We make shit happen.
Yeah, we do. So let's talk about your first fight, Luke. So, Bay City, Michigan. What's up, Bay City, Michigan? It's by my hometown, Standish, Michigan. I brought Luke from Chicago. Yeah, he's seen Stan. What do you think of Standish, Michigan?
I love that place, man. I love that place. It's a little like a training resort. That's in the middle of the nowhere. Tyler's got his brothers, his family up there, and we went up there and we did our thing.
Hung out with Tanner. Shout out to my brother Tanner. Let us crash at his crib. Gave us a bedroom
and an excellent training facility out in back.
Oh yeah, my brother Tanner has a cool training boxing bag hanging. Full gym too.
It's like a mini studio.
Brad was working out. I'm not Brad. I'm sorry. I called you Brad for a second, Luke. I apologize. And you were getting that workout in there. And so, anyways, that's where we stayed. And then you kicked it up. We brought the boxing ring.
We
packed the boxing ring up. It's on our Instagram. Oh, bring that shirt over here. Give it a showing. Hey, Gotti.
There's from
Shout out to Bay City. So, can we see that good? Yeah, right there. Bay City Boxing. That's where I started. I fought in the Golden Gloves there in Flint, then to Grand Rapids. Started in Bay City. It's a great group of guys. Bob Arsenal's old group. And who we work with from there again? I forgot his name. How did I forget his name? He was the guy who took care of everything.
Yeah, he did take care of everything. He was a mover. He was one of those guys who makes shit happen. I liked his style.
I know his name very well, but can't remember at the time. Anyhow, that was your fight. You fought. Do you remember the guy's name that you fought? He became
I believe his name was Andy.
Andy?
Andrew G something.
Yeah, Andy G. He's a big fan of ours now. I seen he follows me, follows you. He's always liking and subscribing to our stuff. So I mean, you picked up a fan.
Yeah.
How'd you think of that? How'd that fight go? Seen you won it.
That fight went, it was a dog fight. We went toe to toe. I think my conditioning kind of what took over at the end of it. He seemed to run out of gasolina, and at that time, it was my time to shine. And we stopped him in the third round.
We stopped him.
So,
TKO.
TKO.
He's a good fighter. Thanks for showing up, Andy. Good guy.
He's a tough dude.
Great sportsmanship. Real nice guy. I'm glad we became friends at the end.
Yeah.
Now
Shout out Andy.
Let's fast forward it out of Bay City. 1 week later, Chicago Golden Gloves. What's up, Chicago
The tournament
Golden Gloves?
of tournaments, in my opinion.
Sophia, can you kind of get pulling some of those fights up on the Instagram of Luke? I don't know if you already had him pulling his hand victory up in the Bay City fight.
Yes.
That's on our Instagram. Now moving on to
Cicero Stadium.
To Cicero Stadium where the
March
Golden
6th.
Gloves started the first night. Luke went in there, dominated.
Dominated.
30 seconds.
Yeah, that was a quick one.
I didn't get to any coaching skill set. I was like, whoa.
I had to tell Tyler's like, step back, do an uppercut. I was like, dude, the fight's over.
I was like, man, this is going to be so easy. You need to practice a couple moves you normally wouldn't do and get comfortable. But he ended up stopping it at 30 seconds. So 2 TKO. So now we're on week 2, 2 TKOs.
That was on a Wednesday night.
On a Wednesday night.
And we came back on that very Friday.
And then we came back on that very Friday to fight again.
And that was all-out war
And
against...
that was an all-out war. What was his name?
His name was Alvin Williams.
Out of Hammond Boxing.
Them Hammond boys don't
Boxing.
play.
Shout out Hammond Boxing. You guys fought at my last fight here a couple years ago. You remembered that. They went out and liked us on Facebook. And big supporters. We picked up some support. What's our one fan's name that we picked up before you fought?
Rari.
Yo, Rari.
Yo,
He's
shout
coming
out
on the show.
Rari.
We're gonna bring him. He came with
Like Ferrari.
I was wrapping up Luke's hands right before his fight, and the gentleman comes up and he's like, you guys are the guy from the podcast. I was looking up. I seen your blue shirts, and then he came running up. He was so excited, man. It made me pumped up.
He said Chicago boxing needs something like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
something
yeah.
to promote it, this, that, and the other.
I heard that a
He
couple
really
times
wants to
there.
get on the show,
Yeah,
and
he'd
we're going
love
to
to
have
be
him
on the
out
show.
as a guest. So Rari, message the
Yeah, we
studio
got a
if
couple
you haven't
people
already.
lined up to be on the show. Some hard hitters. So let's go into so now this is Luke's third fight, 3 weeks, 2 TKOs leading up to this hard fight from Hammond, Indiana, and that was Friday. Explain what happened.
Well, I mean, even before leading up to that fight, me and Mr. Williams were in a pretty intense stare down. We were eyeing each other from across the venue. Neither of us was really giving the other guy an inch. Even when the ref, even at the initial, glove tap and all that, it was
Dude,
no
you eyed
love.
him up for it
No
made me
love.
uncomfortable.
Oh,
I loved it.
I wasn't.
You didn't stop for 3 minutes. Luke, I stared this dude and I had to look away. It was hurting my eyes.
As you might have heard, if you look away, you give him the other guy an inch there, and you don't want to give him anything.
So yeah, you went into the first round, went and going wild. You guys going wild at it, and I think he took you the first round because you were overshooting, coming
Agreed.
out over top.
He was slick with his moves and turning around, and
He did a lot
I
of
was coming
pivot,
forward pretty
He had some
aggressively.
good footwork. He had some good footwork.
Yeah.
And so round 2, you
And hold
adjusted.
on, at the end of the first round, he got in my face. I washed his face with my glove. The ref warned us both. It was
I didn't see
pretty
that.
intense with the stare down. It was end of the first round was good.
Yeah, and then
in
the
that
second
sense.
round hit, and you came out swinging. Yeah, I thought you won the second round.
I think I might have too. It was a close round, but I think I landed a few more clean shots that round. And then we went on to round 3, which was going to be the round that probably decided all, and neither of us was going to give the other dude an inch. And then with about 40 seconds left, I didn't really notice, but you can probably see it here.
Oh my God! His
I
nose
had
is-
suffered from laceration to the schnoz.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know. The ref stops it. Doc comes up to the side of the ring and says, bro, you can't keep going. There's a piece of your bone sticking out. And it was
Piece of his
over.
bone sticking out.
I
couldn't find that hit in the fight. I watched it.
I looked for it.
One
I
of them
couldn't,
it was, but I
couldn't
couldn't
see it. But, I mean, obviously it happened. So my nose was busted open. I spent, after, we did our thing. Congratulations to Alvin Williams. He fought really hard and won that match. And then after that, they actually had a cut guy with them, and he kind of came over and looked at my cut.
He's from Hammond Boxing. Yeah, he made
Yeah.
sure to come look at you. And I gave pictures to, shout out to everyone who caring about you.
Yeah.
The Golden Glove Squad reached out to make sure you took care. We got to go get your fight card.
Then I was in the hospital toda la noche. I think I got home at like 5 or 6 a.m. They transferred. I went from Elmer's Hospital to Loyola. They transferred me. The guy jumped out at the first hospital, pushed my nose over. Like, that was pretty horrific. My girl almost passed out watching it. And then we went to the second hospital, and the x-ray, you can see a little chip of it, and they pulled that piece of bone out off of there, and then the guy stitched me up. Follow-up is tomorrow, but I'm not in pain, but evidently I earned a gold coin for that one.
Yes, you did.
So, hey guys, it was
Gold
worth. I
coin
would
or
do it.
chocolate?
I would do it over 1,000 times again. It was really something I've been wanting to do. The the first fight was almost unsatisfying with how quick that went, and the second one I really overcame, anything that was going on inside me, and went to war with Williams, and good luck to him the rest of the tournament. And we'll be back at the Gold. I'm gonna come and check out some of these few fights. And shout out to boy Ace Boogie, aka the Lobo.
Did he win his second one?
Yeah, he's fighting this upcoming Saturday. He's fighting Friday. This Friday again.
So for a second fight.
He
won
might be
again?
I don't know if he fought.
Well, no, Ace got to keep up with it if you're watching. All right, cool. Let's move in. So that gives you guys a recap on all the fighting that Luke's. I've been the coach of Luke this whole time.
Tyler, he is so calm in the corner for that. How much energy he brings you now. I was almost initially like, oh, he's gonna come in and tell me all, but he smooth, calming, step back.
Yeah, good couple in my corner. I think I give too much advice in the corner where I should just be like, that's not realistic. You need to go out there and do this.
It was perfect, man. I commend you for that. I was really, really like, damn, I have a great corner. Shout out to my guy Ryan.
Ryan helped too.
The Ryan Mac, he gave me that little shoulder rub.
He's like, chill on the camera. So I was his coach. I'm usually the camera guy, the marketing guy, and I had to not do any of that. And I was like, turning the phone out, and we're walking out, and Ryan's like, maybe you should put the phone away. No, we need this. We need this content. You'll appreciate it later. No, you can't take it out of me. All right, so moving on from that, guys. That was the fight. Me and Luke, last 3 weeks, we've been fighting hammer. Now we're back at it. Now we're back at the podcast. Whew.
We've taken a deep breath. There's much more calm around us. Last 3 weeks was very intense.
Fights. Pure fight.
We were both trying to put everything we had into it, and it was a lot of tension and energy and focus. And, I feel like we did our thing, dog.
Yeah, it was good, man. Good work. Teamwork. And if you guys are just tuning in, I'm Todd with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back, and that's Luke. And we just talked about Luke's 3-week fight, my 3-week coaching event, and it has just been a journey. But now we want to get into some Chicago activities that's going on this weekend, starting with St. Paddy's Day. If any of you guys know anything that's going on in the Windy City, you know that St. Paddy's Day is the biggest Chicago event. We dye the river green, you put the rubber duckies in, and they do the race. Every bar is packed from 7 in the morning. The ticket sales are wild. Everybody's celebratory. And it's just everyone's celebrating. Everybody's celebrating. Came out weird. Not celebratory. Scratch that.
It's a wee bit weird. It's
a wee bit weird here. Anyways, Chicago Windy City's rocking this weekend, Saturday. We want everybody to come join us. We're going to have a little gig here at the studio, just a little we're going to meet here and we're going to go to the city. We're going to watch the river die and we're going to go kind of bounce around. It's going to be a great time. So check it out. So, anything else you got to say about Chicago before we move on St. Paddy's Day? And does everyone know what St. Paddy's Day is even about?
You're going to have to.
It's more of a religious thing. It started it's the Irish, right? It's more of a St. Patrick's Day, right? He was a saint. And it started, I did some research on it to read this properly. But I just blacked out all the information. Sophia, do you actually have anything up on St. Patrick's Day where you could put on the screen or maybe voice me something?
I put up the river of Chicago.
It's cool to see the river
where
get died.
St. Patrick's Day actually came from. It ain't about getting fucked up all the time, gents. It's actually like a religious Catholic St. Patrick fought, more like fighting for Christianity amongst churches. So I don't want to go too much detail on that. If you're watching, like, subscribe, and put a comment in if you know it. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, correct me. Because that's okay. I take good to that. Let's move on from that. Okay. Oh, quick little news flash. Chicago Fabrication builds boxing rings, right? So we now have a couple rings, and we rent them out. For the fights like in Bay City, we took the ring out. We rented it. Well, other people asked to buy it. So for $8,500, guys, I will build you a boxing ring. Everybody's asking me, Tyler, how do you run a boxing ring? Well, how much it took to make them? Well, there's a lot that goes into it, guys. And right now, it's $8,500. Look up Chicago Fabrication, do an inquiry there, or through Whatever Blows Your Hair Back Studio, or put in the comments. I'll get you the best boxing ring. We'll put a custom logo in it. We could even do a different type of color on the posts. Can do to the boxing ring. The corners, we can make different colors. Luke, what colors we know you got to have in like an ABA fight? A USA boxing fight, what